Ladies and gentlemen, today I have for you a very not well documented amp. I have a Vox AD100VTH head sitting off to the side of me here. You'll see some B-roll pictures of it. But there's not very many videos on the head version of this amp. They're mostly about the combos. So I figured I'd just run you through all the settings, maybe try some of the effects, even though I don't really use the effects. But if you find one of these for like, I don't know, 150 bucks, I got mine for $100 over here with the foot switch on Marketplace. If you find one for under 200 bucks, they're a pretty good deal. Even for metal, the thing nobody tells you about the head is that unlike the combo versions, it actually has a presence knob in the back, which really helps with a lot of the higher gain models that just kind of sound a little washed out normally. The Vox is going to be ran into a Harley Benton 2x12 behind me, two Chinese V30s at 8 ohms, and then it's going into a Weymic WM57, like super cheap SM57 knockoff, which is going into my AXIO1 right into Reaper, just the mic, no DI track. So yeah, I guess let's just get started with the tone demo. There's going to be knob video from my phone, just showing you what settings I'm messing with. Some of the preamps are different volume levels, so you do have to kind of tweak a couple of things. I'm not going to mess with the presence. I'm going to try not to mess with the EQ, but I will have to mess with master volume because of that. Alright, let's get to work. The guitar I'm using for the clean tones, since it's basically all I have with a single coil, it's going to be an Affinity Mustang. It's like 160 bucks. Great to go with your $150 amp and your $200 cab back here. We're going to start all the way to the left on the clean boutique setting. I have a large pedal board behind me. I'm not going to be using anything on the pedal board except a boost and maybe a gate for the overdrive channels. I do have the gate turned off on the amp. Clean boutique. This is the black 2x12 setting. Same EQ settings and everything. Okay, moving right along. We'll go over to the Tweed setting here. Much warmer. I do like that. Continuing on, what do we got here? AC15 setting. Cool. Next should be the AC30 setting. Like I said, I'm gonna have to adjust volume. My mic is clipping. And then I'm going to leave it on this setting. I'm going to switch over to my Epiphone Les Paul Custom, stock everything. We're going to try out some of the crunchier, like lower gain tones. That's about it for the clean tones. shout out this Fender Mustang. This thing's awesome. Like 150 bucks. It works super great. I love it. Fun to have a short scale guitar. Anyways, moving on. All right. We're on the Epiphone Les Paul Silverburst Custom. I am on the bridge pickup. I was on the neck pickup for that one. We're just going to do some lower gain messing around. This is also in standard tuning. I play metal. I suck at this stuff. Bear with me, please. But here's what it sounds like. Same settings from the Squier. Alright, let's change it up a little bit. Drop the master volume just a little bit here. Turn the gain a little past half. Alright, that's the AC30 setting, gain a little over half. Moving on. Now we're on the UK 70s setting, gain still about half for moving into this section of things. Interesting, warm, a little muddy. Moving on. UK 80s. Okay. UK Modern, which is where I'm going to stop with the Les Paul. That was messy. Anyway, don't know what I'm doing with this, but yeah. All right, let's move on to some higher gain tones. Getting rid of the standard tuned Les Paul. Moving right along, we've got my LTD F400. This has an EMG 81 set, so 81 in both neck and bridge positions. Not going to play the neck, so who cares about that, but let's see what it sounds like on the same settings as the Les Paul in drop C. Little muddy, but we can get there. Not my favorite. Let's boost it though. Alright, so for reference, I've just turned on my TC Sentry noise gate and also my warm FLF drive. I'll have a picture of the settings or something in here. But let's see what the same settings on the amp sound like now that it's boosted. It'll do metal. It'll definitely do metal. Let's adjust some settings and move on to the metal presets. Next we are on new metal, which is a rectifier. It's always a rectifier. Why wouldn't it be? Here's what it sounds like. Same settings with a boost. Let's tweak a few things here. Let's bump the gain a tiny bit. Bump the mids a tiny bit. Drop the bass. Try not to mess with the presence, so I will add a third pedal to the mix. I'm using a PD EQ by GupTech to add a little bit of presence, a little bit of like resonance type deal. It's just an EQ with 2 bands. That's all it is. Alright, that is on. Let's see what it sounds like with its new settings. It's rowdy. That's usually where I leave mine, somewhere around there. I might mess with the presence, but it's a good one. Alright, let's move on to the US Modern. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. The manual says it's a 4-tube snakeskin amp, so I'm assuming Soldano. Personally, not a huge fan of this one, but same pedals, same settings. This is what it sounds like. Yeah, like I was saying, it's pretty good. It's a little like muddy in the mids. Like it has a weird thing going on. It might sound better on a mic than in person, but anyway, that's my 2 cents. And the last thing we're going to get to is the Boutique OD, which I'm going to run through on all 3 guitars because it's probably going to sound like booty butt cheeks on this EMG guitar. All right, let's get to it. For the sake of things, same settings, also boosted, also has the PD EQ on with the presence and the resonance up. This is what it sounds like with EMGs. But for fun, let's switch guitars here. I'm gonna turn off all of my pedals except the gate, leaving the gate on. The built-in gate is not good. So let's switch to the Les Paul. All right, this is gonna be the Les Paul. Gates on, no boost, no EQ. Let's flip it to the neck pickup, see if it, you know, if it's fun. Pretty neat. All right, let's go over to the single coil. Might be noisy. Still got a gate, so we'll see what it sounds like. All right, no noise. The gate's doing its job. This is the neck pickup on the Squier. All right, neat, warm, fuzzy, rich. Let's go to the bridge. Cool. Anyways, that's this Vox AD100VTH. It's rad. Some of the clean tones are really warm. Some of the fuzzier tones, like we just got out of the boutique overdrive, really warm. And if you throw some pedals at the rectifier setting, it's pretty phenomenal, even for metal. The thing nobody tells you versus the combo and this amp is that this one has the presence knob, yes, but this also has an effects loop. The 100-watt combo does too, but with a whole head going out to a speaker cab and an effects loop, you can do a lot of things. It takes pedals very well. I was boosting it with something that has a 20 dB boost, so I've had things like Black Star Silverline Deluxes or some of the lower end Joyo amps. They clip when you push that much volume into the input. This doesn't. It will be good for metal. It'll be good for warmer clean tones. The Fender Tweed is awesome, as you heard before. The Boutique Clean is good for just straight clean stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to cheap guitars, progressively getting more expensive, kinda. I paid less for the Epiphone than I did for the LTD, but the LTD is probably worth about as much as the Epiphone. This, however, is still worth 150 bucks. Really fun, good for short scale 24-inch guitar. Mine came set up spectacularly. These are the strings that came on it. It's a banger, dude. It's a banger, if I'm being honest. Anyways, yeah, if you see one of these just in the wild on your Facebook Marketplace, whatever, pick it up. It's fun. It has a preamp tube. It doesn't sound like a tube amp. Obviously, it's not, but it does things that are cool. It's going to be better than your average Spider. It's different than a Katana, which I have one of sitting over here. That's for another day. And then, yeah, I should really do a modeler amp shootout someday. Shootout someday. I'm leaving that in. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is my first amp demo. It was probably terrible, but I did my best. Don't beat me up too bad about it. Thank you for watching. If there's anything else you'd like to see, please let me know. If not, don't let me know. Just there's the door, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.